Okay, we should be live again. Maybe. Okay. There. So we need to go. Why are you guys standing on the table? Wait, are they both bunny people? Both rabbits? Is she a rabbit as well? I think they're both rabbits. So we need to go deal with Sylphie. Go see Sylphie. Let's bring up our quest list. We're at 4. I thought we had 6 before. Thought we were at 6. Guess not. I wasn't scared. I was just a little startled, that's all. It was as if a massive solid wrath had erupted from the ground. I've never felt anything like... never mind. We have to head up to the Bannock next. Let's get this over with. Where is the bridge? Over this way. gods, the wind blew straight through me. It felt both gentle and sharp at the same time. I can't explain it. This is something you can conjure? Let's be on our way. The last one is at Lilystone. Where is Lilystone? Oh, down there. Jump. Here. That way. Corrupted water. The lake is so beautiful. I never noticed how clearly the sky is reflected in its surface. I never noticed. Let's head back. I'm ready to speak with the Guildmaster now. Return to the Conjurer's Guild. Welcome back, my avid conjurers. How fared you in your encounter with the elements? Sophie, what did you sense as Corrado cleansed the sources of corruption? It's hard to explain. It was like hearing voices crying out in joy, and I felt their happiness wash over me. The world seemed sharper, more alive. It was almost as if nature were speaking to me. But why, Brother Asumi? Why did my mother teach me to avoid this side of conjuring? What was she so afraid of? There are certain truths that hide behind the mask of our words, and there is much that your mother didn't tell you, but you needn't seek all the answers at once, Sophie. Even now, your mind founders amid a sudden inundation of awareness. The first time we connect with nature can be a wonderful but disorienting experience. I suggest you allow yourself some time to adjust to this new perspective. Yes, Guildmaster. You have my gratitude, Corrado. Thanks to you, Sylvie has taken a most important step. You heard her mention voices crying out in joy, did you not? It appears the mother's gift has been passed on to the daughter. Such sensitivity is not something one can achieve through meditation and training, but a blessing that only a few fortunate chosen receive. And as you have no doubt surmised, Sylvie's mother was one such person. The misunderstanding of that blessing, however, was what led her down such a tragic path. We cannot allow Sylvie's astonishing talents to consume her in the same manner. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. The girl has barely awoken to her potential, and for that potential to be fully realized, your support is yet needed. I suspect she failed to mention that the promise of your involvement in her lessons was the reason for her change of heart. Ah, you underestimate the impression your quiet determination has made on young Sylvie. If modesty prevents you from acknowledging your own good deed, consider this task a part of your training. For conjurers are healers of wounds, be they physical or otherwise. Walk with her on her journey, Corrado, and together explore the myriad mysteries of nature. We'll just take the gold, I guess, and thank you for the rod or staff. Acolyte skirt. I must have gotten that from the dungeon. Let's unequip that, because I don't really want to use dungeon gear. I want to use my own crafted stuff. 8, 10. So I still need 2 levels before I can do anything more there. Aetherite. Let's this way real quick and talk to you. able to. I can teleport. That's a new thing, I believe, because they didn't have that before. Questing strict, I guess. Adventurers Guild. And speak with a Momoji. Momodi. Welcome to the quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself too, judging by your determined expression, I take it you ain't here for ale. Are you called Corrado Corps by any chance? Mune sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? Where is... Okay, so that one isn't story related. This one is. Momodi is waiting to brief you on your task. The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under that sun, and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Excellent timing, Papashan. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. So this winsome lass is the much-lauded adventurer, is she? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, milady. I am Papashan, formerly of the Sultan Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to appraise Corrado of her mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Imagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Hecatoncheires, fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the Hecatoncheires to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will, but as is oft the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecatoncheires, Our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels, so it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well, now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell mines are in western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, miss. I just hope you've got skills to go with them, 'cause things ain't pretty down there. The Hecaton chairs have left the place in a right state, and nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second Ool dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue 'em, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Onward to Copperbell Mines. neat. Person being taken away by abducted by a UFO. There's been an incident inside Copperfell Mines. We are here to ensure that its effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the hecaton chairs? I didn't think that Papshan would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can and enter at will. Party cues are so quick as a healer. we doing good so far? There we go. That's the... I don't remember this the slime moves that it's spatting. Rather get hit by one than three. here we are. The final countdown. Slaves no more. Free, free. Masters must pay, masters must die. He's got new moves. Like, they must have redone this dungeon recently, or like since I last played, because like he's got some new stuff, and it doesn't look like there's gonna be any ads coming in. Yeah, that's new. At least new to me. I didn't get any. Oh, okay. No, I got 2 commendations. Get rid of that, because I probably won't use it. Because it's got to be handcrafted by me. I know, I'm weird. I know some of the dungeon gear is pretty good, but you know, nothing compares to something you crafted by yourself. Piece of art you made yourself. Painted Mesa. He is way the fuck over there. Where is the nearest? Why'd I panic? Where is Painted Mesa? Say what? Commence battle. Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Ulda will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papa Shan the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece. No! Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. But please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this. Paid for it with my own coin. What rot. You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blades, you know? Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 as me witness. But please, adventurer, help me, I beg o' ye. I swear on me mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I'd saved. I only wanted to treat my children to a decent meal. And who the hells are you when you're at home? The dog's master? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot, teach them a lesson. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Thank ye, kind adventurer, thank ye thrice over. I'd swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening in the other cities? If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire patrolling the streets for riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. And what will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins, get your Dodo tenderloins, guaranteed cheapest in Thanalan. Thank ye for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery, but peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Madam, are you alright? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? Saw her buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? I will overlook this, but just this once. God's bless ye, adventurer. If ye hadn't come along when you did, who knows what the monster might have done. It don't bear thinking about. Case closed. Hello again. We've been keeping an eye on you. You discharged your duty as envoy impeccably and never once faltered in the face of myriad dangers. But more importantly, you were always ready to help those in need, even if you didn't stand to earn a guild by doing so. You are possessed of all the qualities we seek in an adventurer. Of this we are convinced. Even if you were kind of dragged into that business with the dodo meat. Yes, thank you, Ida, ahem. And then there is the matter of your gift. I dare say you are curious as to the nature of the vision you bore witness to moments ago. Well, we can help you to understand it. You're not the only one with that power, you know. We have a friend who has it too, and we'd love for you to meet her. And meeting her is only the beginning, for we would also have you lend your strength to our cause. In return, we should be glad to assist your adventuring endeavors in whatever way we are able. Should you decide to take us up on our offer, and I sincerely hope you will, pray speak with Momodi. The proprietress of the Quicksand is a good friend of ours. She will tell you where to find us. Wait a minute. We haven't even told you the name of our order. We're the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, Defenders of Justice. Oh, but don't tell anyone, except for Momodi. She already knows. She knows already. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the women folk from time to time. Corrado, sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you'd been hard at it with giants in the dark. You're every gnome the adventurer Mune said you'd be, Corrado. The station master will be overjoyed when he hears the news. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Edda. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Edda. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania I'm sorry. We were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Avir, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded had a fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring, but when I think of the woman you are, of all that you've achieved, I find that I'm inspired, just as Vare once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I will go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first to ask you your name. Cradocor, I shan't forget. Thank you, Cradocor. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel, bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. but against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Corrado. Eh? What did you say? You want to know about the scions of the Seventh Dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Corrado, the scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. Uh, there's all kinds of, all the coming stuff, all kinds of seems to be in Ul'dah. We'll grab this first, I guess. Vesper Bay Aetheroid ticket. Instant teleportation to Vesper Bay. So you want to know more then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise? I swear if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on another, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being Ul'dahn. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, and so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Corrado. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Wakened Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance and you'll be let in. You're a woman in demand, Corrado, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget about them as helped make you into the adventurer you are. Drop in and tell them how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right, well, I've said my piece. Off you go. New Gridania. Conjurer's Guild. Brother Isumi requires your assistance in a matter concerning the young conjurer, Sylphie. Welcome, Corrado. The tales of your deeds reach me even here in the cloistered heart of Stillglade Fane. Glad I am that you have come, for I would ask your assistance in a matter of some delicacy. It concerns, yes, young Sylphie once again. As you can no doubt imagine, the recent revelations concerning her mother have sorely troubled the poor child. It appears Sylphie needed some time alone to sort through the whirlwind of emotion which now beset her. She has, in short, fled from the guild. Fortunately, a party of conjurers who were dispatched to the South Shroud to investigate another instance of corruption, sent word that they have spotted our wayward Sylphie. Considering the importance of their mission, I would not seek to distract the conjurers from their task. Thus I turn to you to escort Sylphie back here to the guild. You are, I believe, one of the few people to whom she will listen. Pray travel to Buscaron Struthers and speak with Wulflu. She was the conjurer who first chanced upon Sylphie, and will be able to tell you more of how the young lady fares. Need to go to South Shroud. But yo, go naked. Put some clothes on. Put some duds on. Yo. Drawers, I guess. I don't know. Almost South Shroud. We meet again, Corrado. I assume Brother Asumi warned you of the corruption my companions and I have been tasked with purifying here in the South Shroud. The source of this extensive blight is found to the southeast. The shrill, discordant voices of the elementals shriek their dismay in the vicinity of the withered treant. I suggest you give the area a wide berth. Considering the potential dangers, you might imagine how alarmed I was to discover young Sylphie wandering about this part of the Twelveswood. It seems that her mother, a woman who healed with conjury, but remained untrained by the guild, called this region her home. Sylphie herself had her head buried in some manner of tome, but if she is as sensitive to the elemental's murmurings as I am led to believe, then the din within her mind must be driving her to distraction. Pray speak with the child and see that she is well. I would do so myself if our current duty were not so pressing. We will, in fact, be setting out at any moment. Corrado, I should have known that Wolfview would tattle on me, and Brother Asumi sent you to take me back, didn't he? This is where my mother used to live, you know, right up until she passed on. Folk were grateful for the healing she offered. And this is the journal she used to keep. There's an entry that explains how nature becomes furious when conjurers use their art. How there are always more people wounded in battles when mortals abuse the power that is not theirs to take. My mother refused to draw on nature because she was scared of making it angry. She wouldn't lie about such things, and I want to do what she would have wanted. I'm going to stop using conjury altogether. I've never heard the voices of this mad before. I bet it's because Wolf and the others are overusing their art. We have to go and stop them. I haven't seen a gold one before. That's neat. God, it's so loud. Can't you hear it? Nature is shrieking in rage. creatures of the woods know this is wrong. Sophie, I can't believe nature actually helped us. There was nothing scary about it at all. I might still wonder if it really was safe for conjurers to borrow that power if I hadn't seen the way you wield it. Nothing could seem more natural. I think it's time I went back to the guild. There are a few things I need to collect first, so please go on ahead without me. Go to Gridania again. Conjurer's Guild. Welcome back, Corrado, and you also, Sophie. Brother Asumi, I'm sorry I ran away like that. I understand, child. Did you find the answers you sought? Yes, thanks to Corrado. She showed me that nature was nothing to be afraid of. I think I know why my mother refused to call upon its power. She believed the act caused suffering to nature itself. I see. So it was her very love for nature that prevented her from drawing on its strength. Tell me, Sophie, has the fog of indecision now lifted from your mind? It has, Guildmaster. I understand now why my mother chose the path she did. Full glad am I to hear that, for I must ask of you one more question. Yes, Brother Asumi? When you first witnessed Corrado cleanse a corrupted element, you mentioned hearing voices. How exactly did they sound? The voices, well, they sounded joyful, like a crowd letting out a sudden cheer. I really heard them, I swear. I am sure you did, Sophie. This is a gift. Conjurers may sense the power of nature and borrow from its strength, but not all can hear its whispers. What you describe are the voices of the elementals. You may very well possess the talent to become a hearer. A hearer? Of course, much relies on your studies of conjuring. You have a natural aptitude, but have thus far lacked commitment. You must not neglect your training, Sophie. Putting aside such matters for a moment, I am curious to hear about the disturbance you observed in the South Shroud grotto. I assume from the reports I have received that it was of a different magnitude to those which you have previously encountered. Am I correct? This bodes ill. The creatures known as mudpies are not native to the Twelves Wood. I wonder what relation this may have to the seemingly ever-increasing frequency of these disturbances. Something beyond the damage wrought by the calamity afflicts the Twelves Wood. I shall commune with the elementals and seek to identify this threat. Crotto, Sophie, I may have need of you both before long. Until then, give yourselves over to the study of our art. Ever shall the earth meet your footfall, and the wind guide your path. We'll take the gold. We did get a I guess we got thigh boots at some point as well. 14 gil. We'll sell it instead of discarding it. I thought we got a level 26. Okay, so I need one more level. Airship. No. God damn it. Airship landing. What is the Ruby Road Exchange? Okay. Where am I going? Western Land. We going. Did I attuned to this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did. Level 13. That's not too bad, at least. Don't have to worry about them killing me. Deep in the desert of my heart, a lonely flower blooms, yearning for the heavens above, to quench my thirst for you. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Ooh, ah. Cough. I would thank you not to sneak up on me like that. Now please be advised that this is private property. Unless you have pertinent business here, I must ask you to... Here at the behest of Ida and Papalimo? My sincerest apologies. May I please have your name? Cradlecore. Ah, here you are. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands, headquarters of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. My name is Tataru, and I look forward to assisting you during your time with us. The antecedent is within the solar. I shall let her know to expect you. I take it you are Corrado Core. Tataru sent word that you had arrived. Lady Minfilia has eagerly awaited your coming. This way, if you please.
So you're the adventurer of whom I've heard so much. Well met, friend. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have awaited your coming. Please, be at ease. You are among friends here. No doubt you are ripe to burst with questions. But have patience. All will be revealed in time. First, let me begin by telling you who we are and what we do. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, an order that transcends political boundaries. Our single objective is the preservation of the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Their existence is a bane upon Eorzea, nay, the world at large, and we have striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. Our order is home to a number of individuals who, like you, possess a rare and special talent. This talent takes various forms, but one holds particular interest for us. Tell me, have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable loss of consciousness? Have you ever had the sensation of being pulled away from reality? Felt as though you were hovering in space, a mind without a body? All these things are the manifestations of your talent. Yours is the power to transcend the boundaries of the soul, a power known as the Echo. The Echo allows you to pass through the walls of a man's soul and hear the resonations of his past. You will be there in his memories and see things as he saw them. You may even interact with that which you see, though you cannot change the outcome of events. For another blessing, the Echo will enable you to know a man's mind even if you cannot comprehend his words. In short, the Echo is a truly extraordinary power, and this power is strong within you. It is only a shame that we cannot use it whensoever we choose. That's right. I too possess the Echo. With that established, let us return to the subject of the Primals. So long as they exist, the realm cannot take so much as a single step towards true peace. Measures must be taken. Measures which transcend boundaries, be they of faction, race, language, or creed. And to do so, the Scions require the aid of those with our talent. Make no mistake, the Echo will be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. Without it, we cannot hope to save the realm. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea. But I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Why else would the gods entrust man with a gift so extraordinary, if not to have him use it? And so I implore you, lend us your power.
Naturally, your aid will not go unrewarded. We are fortunate to have a number of influential allies, and at a word from me, they will gladly afford you certain privileges that might otherwise be denied you. The right to employ retainers, for example. Are you familiar with them? They are individuals who may be relied upon to manage your assets and belongings on your behalf. The papers you requested, my lady. Thank you, Tadaro. The pleasure is mine, my lady. By way of a welcoming gift, I have taken the liberty of adding your name to the retainers registry. As of now, you are entitled to employ the services of a retainer. You will need to consult a retainer vocate regarding the particulars of this arrangement, but believe me when I say that retainers will prove invaluable to you in your adventuring endeavors. Let this gesture serve as evidence of our commitment to do all in our power to facilitate your personal objectives. In return, we ask that you aid us to the fullest extent of your talents. A mutually beneficial relationship, I am sure you will agree, and one which serves the greater good besides. Well, that was a veritable lecture, was it not? Forgive me, but it is important that all concerned are aware of what is expected of them. Now you know our purpose and what we can offer you. I invite you to consider joining us. When you have come to a decision, you may tell me without fear of censure. In good faith, I shall entrust you with our order's password, which our members use to reach one another when afield. It is Wild Rose. Pray keep it safe. We Scions have but one objective, to safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. So it's still a number of quests before we get our Chocobo. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray consider this when you give me your answer, Corrado. I will go whither the wild rose blooms. There is no small endeavor, the dangers are great. Waiting to hear whether or not you will pledge your support to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
I take it you will help us. Wonderful! I knew you wouldn't let us down. But come, I would introduce you to your friends in the Order. Tell me, does the name Sharlayan ring any bells? It used to be one of Eorzea's 6 city-states, and was situated in the northwest of Aldenard. The Sharlayans were the keepers of wisdom both old and new. Their mastery over magic and ether was unsurpassed, and even the Garleans knew to fear them. Among their number, there were a noble few who devoted their lives to safeguarding the future of Eorzea. When the realm began its descent into chaos, and their countrymen fled for the motherland, they alone chose to remain here. These noble men and women were called the Archons. Those same brave souls stand before you now. The masked woman is Ida, and beside her is Popalimo. The two are charged with surveying the Twelveswood.
Hello there.
Welcome.
I had every confidence that you would agree to help us.
Me too. Okay, my turn to introduce someone. That there is Thancred.
He is our man here in Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert.
Welcome to the team. If I may, the lovely maiden beside me is named Y'shtola. Limsa Lominsa has the pleasure of being under her care.
Greetings. Last but not least is Urianger, who presides over all affairs within these halls. Pray seek him out whenever you have questions.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. The words of a dear friend. I am glad of our meeting.
At the Battle of Carteneau, our leader was taken from us. But we did not stray from our purpose. We sought out Minfilia and others with her talent, and together established the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Along with the Archons, those blessed with the Echo play a pivotal role in our endeavor to forge a brighter tomorrow for the realm. Oh, I should also introduce you to Tataru, our clerk. She ensures that everything runs smoothly.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
In time, I hope you will come to think of us as family. But without further ado, I would assign you your first task. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldesion?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have received a request for aid from the Immortal Flames. Thancred, would you do the honors?
It would be my pleasure. Some days ago, a crystal caravan registered to Amagina and Sons mineral concern was waylaid and divested of its cargo. But there is more. Within a bell of the robbery, several people were reported missing from the shantytown outside the city.
At a glance, one would assume the involvement of bandits, kidnappers, and coincidence. Such crimes are hardly uncommon, and the Immortal Flames deal with their like almost every day. However, this time we have reason to believe that a primal is involved.
Aye. The evidence left behind implicates the Emoja, who are known worshippers of Ifrit. If we then consider the objects that were taken, there is no room left for doubt. The crimes were committed in the name of a primal.
That you may better understand the nature of our struggle with the primals, I would have you play the leading role in this investigation. You have my thanks. If there is aught you wish to know, I recommend you speak with Thancred. He is well versed in the affairs of Ul'dah.
Ever at your service, fair lady.
Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spate of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected, assuming we are correct. It is like that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on their caravan, our friends at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern have doubled security over all their shipments. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abductions should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone, so that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see what see that he gives us his full cooperation. Camp Drybone. That is in central Thanalan. No. Eastern Thanalan. I'm Eisenbard, here to search for the missing folk, I take it. Minfilia sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Amalja. It seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely returned. Let us get right to it then. Minfilia names the Amalja culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by Amalja hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the Church of Saint Adama Landama, innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see the deed before mongrels catch their scent, but I know not if the Amaljas still linger. Would you secure their remains for me, friend? You will find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amaljas seek in this area. corpses. My knees. It is good to see you return. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? I just hand over a bunch of corpses to him. With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what of the Amalja? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so there were Amalja remaining, after all. I feared as much. Their part in the lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amalja raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? What say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves? It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings. 12 forbid it be so. There is a merchant by the name of Ungust, who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he is at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. Well, gods be damned. You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? Dear friend, Belch, missing people, please help. Hiccup, yours, Isambard. Folk around here are as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before. What with all the disappearances, you can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. But please, miss, just leave me be. I've nothing to say but this. Thou take who, or whatever's been feeding off us low folk. What do you want from me? I don't know anything. I swear. Please don't kill me. Just as I told you, wasn't it? The whole lot of them are terrified. Hiccup. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved onto a better place. This place isn't exactly Costa del Sol, if you know what I'm saying. Welcome back, Corrado. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungust. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. Isambard would like you to learn what you can from the clergy. Proper burial for the children, Malja. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place to ask than at the Church of Saint Adama Landama. It is a small and humble church found to the northwest of here. And so long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request, I grant you, but it must be borne to burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marque. He tends the graves of the Lich Yard. He will tell you where the body is to be interred. I'm Marque, yes. A body, of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there is an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. Where the fuck is this path? Was it back over here? Oh, it was. It didn't look like that one anywhere. It looked like it was a dead end. Wait, what's the Amber Ungant? May they all walk in Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Orsen can. Or can? She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Orsen within the church walls. I hear you've done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when next you see him. You seek knowledge of missing drybone inhabitants? It is true, I am closer to the people than any other of the order. I confide in them, and they in me, when they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal. I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marquet would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marquet, and soon. Speak with Eisenberg at Camp Drybone. Thank you, Corrado. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of the missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you, Corrado? A pleasure, my dear Eisenbard. The name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons and why. I, too, spoke with Ungust more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of the common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Prostration, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good sister Orson herself? Orson? She wouldn't. She couldn't. Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend, and you would be wise to keep an eye to this rose. Still, the Lich Keeper, Marquet, I'd swear to the 12 I've seen that face elsewhere before. Sister Orson, it cannot be, though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children. But no, it could not be she, could it? I grow weary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she is fond of. Pray seek out the boy, Corrado, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activities. please help. Sister Orson went out all on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thrall and the Order and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it. But what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please find her. You are the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child? Yes. Well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. For the children. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. Gods forfend. I will secure a room at the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of orphans and risking her own well-being in the doing, no less. Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. Isambard seems to have a message for you from Thancred. I am well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. Now, on to the matter at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he will be waiting at the Amaljic encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. Amaljic encampment southeast, down there. Ah, there you are, Corrado. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Orson. Isambard said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, a band of Amalja caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, let us say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you, dear Corrado. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? I totally didn't even see that guy there. He was literally just standing guard there, chilling. And I just walked right up. Queer leaflet. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? This leaflet, see the wealth of knowledge to the hands of your children. It looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though atrocious, is it not? And these bits about knowledge, thou seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the order penned this. Pray take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let us see what Sister Orson makes of it. My Savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? What is this? Blasphemous. These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the order. Of that I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? The plot thickens, Corrado. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There is no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider now how best to handle this. For now, tell Isambard what we have learned here. Posing as a priest, to think. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, Corrado. I shall keep my eyes and ears and eyes open, now more than ever. Isambard wants to help you identify and apprehend the false priest. I'm afraid I have not seen any unusual activity, nor have any at this camp given me cause to doubt them, but unless we can identify the culprit, and soon, more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Let Corrado and me serve like with like by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. I dare to hope that this will yield us the answers we seek. It will be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more than capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next useless in a battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your needs, so long as you don't mind the smell and the stains. These will serve very well. You have my thanks. Listen, Corrado, so as to lay the foundation for our little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived at camp and are desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Isambard has lent us and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest should catch wind and approach us. Pair of weathered shepherd slops. And you are? Huh, another refugee by the looks of you. The immortal flames have neither work nor coin for your like. Begone, and see to it you don't make a nuisance of yourself. And I was about to get to the good part. Looking for work, you say? Sorry, but we don't have any openings. Now get out of here so I can finish my story. I preached the teachings of Azema, the warden. Hast thou come to partake of the honey of her wisdom? Azema is keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. All is laid bare beneath the light of her divine countenance. Open thy heart to this light, needy child, and thou shalt want for naught till the end of days. Ermengarde. Greetings, good madam. Is there aught I might assist you with? Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. Mayhap you should rejoin your fellows out at the pond north of Sandgate. Above. What is it? Gods, not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you the right to pester whomsoever you like. Why don't you keep with your own kind out by that muddy pond of yours at Drybone? You have quite a knack for being a nuisance, Corrado. The camp is abuzz with talk of newly arrived vagrants, and though we were unable to attract a wayward transgressor, we were able to learn that the poor have a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, to the east of here. The eyes of the authorities do not reach that place, rather ideal for spiriting away hapless souls. Let us go there and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, you'll need to remain in disguise. A fine day for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? You look absolutely smashing, Corrado, positively dressed for deception. All that's left, then, is to wait for our quarry to appear. Oh, you poor unfortunate souls. This is no way for men to live. No way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be at ease, child, for I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Nelthal, and I come to offer you succor. This leaflet bears the teachings of Nald. Trust to them, and they will surely set you free from the shackles of penury. A tempting offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. On account of that atrocious performance, you would have made a god's awful mummer, Ungust. Well, what? How did you know? You bastards tricked me. But please, don't hurt me. I was only doing it to protect my people. Is that so? Do continue. But very well. I'm a man of the Golden Bazaar, raised there, if not born. Some moons ago, the Amalja raids began. They would appear sudden as a sandstorm and plunder and pillage at will. Our defenders couldn't stand against them, few as they were. Everyone lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant was all I knew, and so I did the only thing a merchant could. I approached the Amalja in hopes of brokering a deal. In return for sparing the Golden Bazaar, they made demands, outrageous ones. Demands of what kind, pray tell? First of all, they wanted the schedule for crystal shipments from the Nanawa mines. For this, I bribed one of the workers to leak the information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people, so I posed as a priest to lure in the vulnerable and give them over to the Amalja. I didn't have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing, but at the cost of innocence? You could have sought the aid of the immortal flames, yet you did not. I suspect you are not telling me the full story. What made you sell out your own people? Speak. The mumble was good. What did you say? The coin was good, I said. I could sell mole meat for a score of lifetimes and not even see a fraction of what the Amalja paid me. You sacrificed innocence so that you could line your own pockets? Words fail to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me your contempt. If you want to blame someone for the mess the world's in, then blame yourselves or the gods. Oh, not you again. Were you the one leaking the Immortal Flame's patrol routes to the enemy as well? Spit it out. No, I know nothing about that, I swear. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that leaves your mouth, but no matter. There'll be time enough to learn the truth. So, Crotto, be a dear and take word of these developments to Minfilia, would you? I shall prize everything I can out of this filth. The abductees are still somewhere out there. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. It is quite a way to Horizon. We are almost to Ifrit. After Ifrit, we get our I forget what they're called. Grand Company. Welcome back, Corrado. I am pleased that you and Thancred have been getting along. I see you have done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken, and none but the Amalja know the answer. Suffice it to say, they will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. Weapon coffer, a heavy chest containing a weapon of item level 18 through 21. Minfilia would like you to meet a distinguished individual. Life materia and everything. I think this is going to meet the materia guy. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mudamix Bubbly Potts, and he is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eorzea. The knowledge of this method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, it has now been disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. take it to Munimix and bid him use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Munimix is ever to be found at his camp in central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for the pillar of smoke and the way will become clear. So I need to go to Central Thanalan. What's it cost to? 195. That's actually not bad. Munimix bubbly pots. Pshaw. Who is Uplander come to tent ring of Munimix bubbly pots. Fighty tool drinks in airy self. When full of airy self, Fighty tool changes to stony shine, name of materia. If materia join with other Fighty tool, then Big Eyes Fighty tool gains power of airy self. Pshaw. Munimix is reckoning that Uplander is friend of Minfilia. Yes, tongue flaps reach ears of Munimix with vastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander brings Fighty tool to Munimix, yes? Shka. Fighty tool is unstrong as eating tool. Make good teaching show of power of materia. The materia master. Now, eyes of Uplander point at Fighty tool, yes? Shka. Materia join with Fighty tool. Fighty tool gains power of materia. Fighty tool reborn. Here, Uplander, take Fighty tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond, that being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with its owner's spirit. When ye attach a piece of materia to gear, ye imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Munimix turned that dagger of yours from summit as would have struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Pshka. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia. Then Uplander best fill brain case with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants Braincase to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learny ones of Mutamix. Waking the spirit. I would like to learn. Oh, Disciple of the Hand. Wishes to teach you how to meld materia. Why, hello there. I see you're a disciple of the Hand like me. Mayhap you're interested in learning how to meld materia to gear. If so, it'd be my pleasure to teach you. Ready to begin? Good. Now then, there's one thing to keep in mind when melding materia slots. Arms and armor each have a certain number of these slots, and this determines how many pieces of materia they can host. Normally, an item cannot host more pieces of materia than it has slots. However, as with most other things in life, there are certain exceptions. But this sort of knowledge is for later down the road, after you've become more experienced. You may want to broach the subject matter with Master Mutamix. Now off you go, and happy melding. Uplander is joiner of materia. Uplander desires to join Muchly, yes? Then Mutamix makes Braincase of Uplander rattle with secret knowings of materia. But first, Uplander must be proving readiness. Uplander, shall we do attaching 8 pieces of materia, then let Uplander and Mutamix trade tongue flaps again. Uplander has good joining skill. Mutamix give Uplander secret knowings of word bond. Most deep part, one fighting tool bears only little materia, but if Uplander uses secret joiny skill, one fighty tool bears many materia maybe. Mutamix teach Uplander secret joiny skill, but Uplander keep in brain case that it sometimes work unrightly. Will fighty tool of Uplander bear many materia, or will materia turn to bitty bits? Using secret joiny skill not for unstrong of bladder. Can now attempt to attach materia to gear which has all its materia slots filled. While the benefits of having multiple materia attached to your gear can be great, success is not guaranteed, and the consequences for failure can be great. For a botched meld will result in the loss of the materia. So I guess we can go back to Minfilia then. Polyme Rhapsodus. Nedrick Ironheart. What's this about? Hello, Hatali. Has some useful information he wishes to share. Welcome back, Corrado. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. What a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I am sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Corrado, so make it your ally. Now, it is time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you are ready to begin. Gil. Not even worth it. Minfilia would like you to assist the Immortal Flames. Lord of the Inferno. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Amalja are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Corrado. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. All the way back to Camp Drybone, really. Guys. Ah, your Corrado Corps of the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizard men aren't aware that their man Ungust has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds. Prado, let's make sure it does. Invisible City is up that way. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalja appear. Yes, sir. What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. Hehehe. Ah ha ha ha. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? 'Twas almost as if someone was feeding them information from the inside. Gahaha. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Hehehe. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Let's assess this. I guess we're just gonna and hope for the best. Put up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you. Bring her. The rest of you march. Traitorous scum. I fear the Amalja mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. Average wait time, less than 5 minutes. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from misery. O mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. Almighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your Godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. But bloody hells, bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you.
Rise once more as my loyal minions, feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn.
Almighty Ifrit, my one true God, your words are my bread. Impossible. By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smelled not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Malja zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent thought. Phew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Crotto. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere what I had anticipated, even taking Ulden interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the Vilf Legion, or 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. I can't whisper on free trial? Lame. Ah, there you are, Corrado. Come rest a while. You will have no better opportunity after witnessing their gods' ignominious defeat. Yamalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said for their minds, for once a man is tempered. But it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still a reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Corrado. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands. When you are good and ready, we can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. The triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Corrado her life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took her prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly, just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Corrado, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume Aether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more Aether they require. Now, Aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of Aether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal, which leaves us with the why of the abductors. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of Aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Corrado. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that would not do this if there were any other recourse, but once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Corrado. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Louisoix would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. A hero in the making is wearing a wry smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Ida and Papalymo that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Corrado, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I'm given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Corrado, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Corrado's deeds spread so quickly that the immortal Flames should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other Grand Companies? Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Core. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learned that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania. Know that the people hold you in high esteem, and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mistress Core. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs with the immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Lominsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Corrado hear our leaders speak, then return here with their decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Corrado, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one woman in the midst of a Grand Company. However, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Corrado, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what tomorrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Corrado. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the Remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the three services, and Elder Seedseer Khan A. Senna will deliver her address at Miketo's amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Rabban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lomitsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merlwyb Ulfhiswin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Xantheo, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the Remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. We are going to run to Ul'dah, because that is the closest region, and then from there we will make our rounds after we attend the Remembrance service in Ul'dah. But for now, we are going to wrap up. Once we get to Ul'dah, we'll repair our gear here in Horizon. And then head from here to Ul'dah. And then, once we get to Ul'dah, we will call it there for the day. I think we are at 4 allowances for levies. Okay, we will call it here for the day, and I will see you guys next time. Let's check if anyone is... No one we know is streaming. We'll pass for today, I guess. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining, and ta-ta for now.